All right. Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're going to continue with the remakes. We started with Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 because we had just finished off the Nightmare on Elm
Ready.
Street series. Um, so we're going to continue it with 2009's Friday the 13th, the remake.
Yep.
Jerry, what do you grade this movie?
Gonna give it a B.
There it is.
Yay. Gonna
Yay,
give
that
it a
happened.
gonna give it a B.
All right, that's better than I thought you were going to give it. I'm gonna give it a B plus, man. I
Okay.
really wait. We're still doing S's, right?
Yeah, you can go to
All right,
S.
I'm gonna go A minus if we're going to S's.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna give it A minus. Um, I really like this movie, and it sucks because I realize how contradictory it is for me to go. This 2000s ick is fine with me, when 2010s ick is not.
Yeah, I still had a
Um,
hard time.
yeah, I was able to look past it pretty easily,
Cool.
for the most part. I mean, douche face Trent was such a douche face. Like his face is douchey. He's
Yeah,
douchey. Like I bought him as that character. So
right.
that's just good acting. Um, both the girls that, the main character, the one that's not the dark-haired one,
All four
that
girls look
like,
exactly the same.
oh no, see, they
There's the two
don't though,
brunettes and
because
there's the two blondes.
right,
My
right.
brain
So
was going, didn't isn't that the one that got stabbed like earlier under the oh no, that's the other I'm like my forgot completely. Then shit.
yeah, so the girl that gets kidnapped by Jason,
Yeah, and
she we
that
don't
whole
see her. Yeah,
stuff in the beginning, the whole
right.
like kids camping out and
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
flashback.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Dude, it's like you get two movies in one.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's what it felt like. And I liked Richie. I liked the like stoner guy that was like, "Hey Richie, get lost," because he's trying to
right,
bang the fucking, dollar store Ralph Macchio was trying to sleep with his girlfriend or whatever. But like I liked those characters. Those
right.
those those were cool character, or not cool, but they were interesting
Yeah,
characters. But when we move into the girl that gets kidnapped from that series, she's not in the majority of the movie. So it was very easy for me to
yeah.
go, okay,
Who? Oh,
the one brunette that's active and moving around and not chained to a fucking wall
but
is it okay. She was okay. She played like, concerned, friendly, whatever. Um the duo of the Asian guy and the black guy,
yeah,
that was comedy duo, they worked, man. They were fun. I liked them. That was a really good shot. I would have actually really liked to seen Richie hang out with them too. I think that would have brought some fun to it.
right,
Uh, but the other stoner boy that wore like the 2000s like emo band hair slash surfer hair, the guy driving the boat,
right.
um, yeah, he was okay. I mean, whatever, like they all did their job well enough for me to go, yeah, all right, fine. And then
Like, yeah,
supernatural guy.
supernatural guy. Like this movie had a problem to the point where I was like, I wish they would have given everybody like just name tags. Just so I'm not like, because like there's so like this is where Cabin in the Woods
Yeah,
I think was birthed because they became such like stereotypes and fucking like that 2000s yuck, and my brain is just mushing everybody together. And then I was like, oh hey, what happened? Why are they not concerned? Like, didn't their friends like get murdered earlier? Oh yeah, that was a fucking flashback. They didn't have nothing to do with those kids from earlier. Fuck. Like I
yeah.
kept
I mean,
doing that.
the only through link is supernatural was
Right.
looking for sister or whatever. But so I agree with that, but they did Jason so well in this
Jason was
one
great. Jason was great.
that I was able to go, you know, I fuck the rest of this shit. It's fine.
Yeah,
I really like, all right, so when we break this down, when we watch a Friday the 13th, we talked about this. We are here for blood, booze, and boobs.
yeah,
So this movie had all of it. It had the partying, it had the nudity, and it had the rad killing.
right.
So,
What's missing though? What I know you're the what you know, Jerry, why don't you care about this as you do back in those 80s? And it's not about the 2000 jux. I
well, you just
realize
gave this movie a better grade than 90% of the
yeah,
80s
yeah,
ones,
cool.
which
Well,
same, but
yeah,
I
but
did
we
it
gave those
intentionally.
stars, so technically stars are in
Did
a
we
different
though? I
yeah.
think we were
We
S's
no,
on
we were
them.
on
Oh, okay.
stars.
All right.
So
Well,
in
yeah,
a
you can make
star
up whatever you want
realm,
to justify it. That's fine.
yeah.
I don't care.
But
Um,
no, the reason that because it's missing the camp. Okay, not the physical like Camp Crystal Lake. It's there. No,
right.
I'm just talking about like I don't know that 80s cheese camp that I just
But
God damn it, give me fucking Crispin Glover fucking dancing like a goose on acid. Give me fucking what's his face in a shitter stall because of them damn enchiladas fucking singing to his girlfriend outside. Like I don't know what it is that like makes me like those, but yet for some reason, like the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like the it should have been Friday the 13th, and then underneath it, it should have been like the plot is stupid, the characters are forgetful, fucking Jason's cool though, because
yeah,
that's all I
okay.
kept saying.
But if you go, if you go back to the 80s ones,
Right.
they weren't campy at the time. See, that's
No, no,
we
no.
keep for people when we discuss these movies, I think a lot of times we forget like in the 80s that wasn't campy. In 2009 that's not campy, but by
Right.
2030 that will be campy.
Oh,
Like it's just it's an
and I
evolution
cannot wait for
of
my 70th birthday and
well,
shit.
yeah, maybe we'll come back and
Yeah.
redo it, but um
Oh,
I understand there is a level of goofiness that's not in there, but these
right.
2000s remakes, they cut that shit out of the movie. They went
Right.
out of their way to make sure like the Nightmare on Elm Street was not campy in any way. He did not make jokes in any
Mm.
way.
Yeah.
This one, there's no joke, no campiness. These
Right.
movies, and same thing with the, you know, when we get to them, the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, they steered away from all that. It, specifically, they were trying to crank up the gore. They were trying to crank up the nudity. They were trying to crank up all the things that we loved,
Right. They wrote
except
down
the camp.
what is a Friday the 13th? Okay, we
Right.
need this, we need
And they
this.
nailed it because I
Yeah,
don't care
technically.
about 90% of those characters. The
Right.
only, and I don't care about Crispin Glover, and I don't care about the enchilada guy, except for,
You
no,
are
let
disrespecting
me finish my sentence,
Ted. Where's the
except for the,
corkscrew?
no, let me finish my sentence,
Okay.
except for the fact that they happen to be memorable. They
Right.
did not write those people to be standout characters.
They
They
became
wrote
standout.
them to be just do nothing body count.
Right.
We just happen to love Crispin Glover on this channel, and he stands out with his where's
Right.
the corkscrew and silly
Where's the
dance.
corkscrew and
And of
this
course, you
the
can't help but
dance?
love, you know, the guy, the enchilada guy.
The
I can't remember
computer.
his name, but
Yeah, I can't remember either. But I mean,
like I
like,
don't
yeah,
give a fuck
those
about Corey Feldman. I don't give a
right.
fuck about Tommy Jarvis. I don't give
Tommy
a fuck
Jarvis?
about
Yeah.
Alice. I don't give a fuck about any of these people.
Right.
They just happen to, a few of them happen to stand out because they just became
Right.
iconic. Nobody stood out in this one except for the Asian guy. I like that guy, Aaron
Yeah,
Yo.
he
Aaron
had
Yo, he was a
moments.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, him, I think he stood out to me.
Right.
But again, they avoid the camp. Nobody's going to. nobody's going to blow you away with their acting or anything like
It's a
that.
Friday the
So,
13th,
right,
so
exactly. So you can't hold those prejudices against this movie when you don't hold them against all the movies.
well, yeah, I know. I don't I think it's like it's that damn Rod Zombie again. I really do. It's because of Halloween. They said, okay, Michael Myers is going to be amped up, cranked to the nines. We're going to do that, and then they did that with Freddy and Michael. I mean Freddy and Jason, and like they took out. Obviously, as you said, camp is not like, oh, we got to make it more
It
campy. It's
seems
it's not created, it's just flowed through. But these are without that, just have like a void. It's not
okay,
bad.
so it seems to me like you just really want film grain on your movies.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I
you
meant.
just want the Rob
Fucking
Zombie
yeah.
filter on your movie. And if
No,
that's what
not
you
at
want,
all.
I
I
will
want
throw it on iMovie. I'll throw that on there. You
no,
rewatch
it
it, and
has
then you'll
nothing to
probably
do with
go,
the grain.
you know what?
Like,
That's great. There's no difference between the Rob Zombie Halloween and these. They are all ramped up.
well,
The
yeah, that's what I
story is
said.
changed a little bit.
Right.
Like they're all the exact same thing. All these
Yes.
2000 remakes, but we like some of them and we don't like the other ones. Like I
Like,
didn't, I don't
right.
know.
Okay. But I mean, I have no like. I thought some of these kills in here were great. Fucking, I love the barbecue. Fucking,
Hmm?
even though like the where he takes the sleeping bag and he ties it up and shit, and then he comes running, but he hits the bear trap.
Yeah,
Like I love that. That was
genius,
great.
genius.
Fucking the machete that like pierces the one girl, and then he's
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna lift it up, fucking, so we see boobs. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And
or
thank you, Jason.
the maybe the buoyancy of silicone. I don't know if it floats. Fucking
No,
just
no,
popped her up like that.
nah,
Like I've seen bobbers
he
do that shit.
yeah, yeah, naturally. That's the same concept, boobs and bobbers.
Yeah.
No, he was pulling the machete up and her head had to hit the thing to release the machete.
Right.
Um, but A plus on that. Um,
Yeah. Like
I
it
the
does. It hits all of those marks where I
yeah,
would, thumbs up.
yeah.
And I think you're right. It's just that uck. It's that ugh.
Yeah, and I
Fucking
get that.
2000s.
I just think I like so one big thing with me, I've mentioned it so many times. I like seeing more. When they remake a movie, I like seeing more. So even though it went in a bad direction, a negative direction with
Yeah.
Freddy being a pedophile, I like more backstory. I enjoy it. So
Right.
the idea that Jason captures this girl because she looks like his mom,
Hmm.
that's a great thing.
Yeah, that was great.
Seeing how he gets around the camp and that he's been paying the electricity in this camp for fucking 45 years and he can just flick on floodlights and that the locals know Jason
Yeah.
and just go, leave him the fuck alone. Like the old lady, the woman with the
Yeah.
dog, she was like, he wants to be left alone. Just
Right.
leave him alone and then walks away. The old man with the tow truck saw Jason
Now,
and
both
saw
from
him and
Texas
he just
Chainsaw
went,
Massacre.
yeah, exactly. Which is cool. It's a little nod.
Yeah.
But both of them go, yep, gotta go.
Yeah.
Whatever,
That's cool.
whatever he does to you guys is on you. You shouldn't have fucking came into his camp.
The tow
I
truck
like
driver
that
moment. That's a cool kill, especially when he drives
for sure.
away and the guy's on the back. See, those are like, yes, those are great. Those are great.
If it had the 80s like brightness to it, like that 80s,
It is
like
a dark movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But all of these are dark movies. Look
Yeah.
how dark when we get to the Texas Chainsaws, look how dark it is. Look at
No, no, no.
Freddy,
I
how
don't
dark it
mean
was. Like,
like dark in the sense of like negative. I mean just
right,
like
no, I mean like
just
dark as in lighting. Like it's a
turn the saturation up a
and
little bit,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. But it's like that for all these remakes. That was
Or the
just the
exposure.
era. It was the time. It was just
Right.
that's what it was. Just like the 80s was bright and blood was this color red for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it, it was just blown out. It was that Jalo colored blood and bright colors and stuff like that. And this is not, and that's okay.
Did the absence of that, like that kill kill mom mom camera,
No, didn't think about it
didn't
twice.
think about it. I was kind of noticing where it's like, oh, that would be a great time to have, like, because I noted, they used to do that all the time where just to create tension, like someone's watching you,
Mhm,
that
mhm.
that shit. Like I kind of like miss that a little bit. Fucking
I could see why you would miss that. But
right.
again, I think I was just so enthralled with this Jason is I think that every Jason before it was leading to this Jason. This Jason, I mean, we got Derek Myers playing Jason again.
Yeah.
He's hustling, which is one thing that Jason really never did. He did it a couple times,
Past
like
the
I
third
think in the
movie.
in the third before, but this one we see him like hustling. We
Hmm.
see him like moving. Like
Right.
when he goes and hits the guy in the bear trap in the head with the machete, like
Yeah.
and he's coming running up like wham. Like that's what I wanted Jason to do. And I
Yeah.
recognized Derek immediately because of this fucking section of his body. Like I've just seen
It
it
was
so
like a
much that I'm
bullfrog
like,
and shit.
yeah,
Fucking like
um,
like dudes doing fucking
he
like
really worked his
powerlifting with his
pecs. Yeah.
neck.
Yeah, yeah. I
You know.
mean, yeah, but we went with the no eyes on the mask for the most part. You can kind of see
You can
a
see it
little bit,
sometimes, but I don't
but
mind it. Like I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
I know when like I was like, yay, hockey mask,
Hmm.
but there was a part of me that was actually like, I kind of missed the burlap sack because he did
Yeah.
kind of look really good in that burlap sack.
Hmm. Hmm.
And like I know they had to do it, first we have the mom, so we
Hmm.
had to set that up,
Right.
and then we had the burlap sack, and then he upgrades his armor to have the hockey mask,
Hmm.
and it was like now I have reached full potential Jason,
Right, right, right. Well,
and
go ahead.
like I was kind of sitting there, and especially during that time where I was like, that burlap sack one, that was really nice.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
they
know,
made it look good.
it looked good on it. I mean,
Yeah,
compare,
it didn't look like a sack. It looked like his head was wrapped
yeah,
almost.
yeah, like it had like a bungee here or something, but I was digging it, and compared to like when we reviewed the second one, it was just like, no, we want hockey mask Jason, and
Right, right,
it's
right.
like I could take it or leave it at this point where it's like
Yeah.
makes it different.
Yeah, but I mean, I think when he goes Super Saiyan Jason, when he
Yeah,
finds the hockey mask, like there was a part of me that like I had forgotten that he wore the sack in the beginning of this.
yeah,
So when he stumbles across, I remembered that he found it when he was killing that the redneck.
yeah.
But when he like reaches down, picks it up, I was just like, fuck yeah. Like I was
Yeah,
excited for it. I was like, yes, Jason is complete. It's like we've been putting together pieces and now it's all done.
right.
But there was a lot of really cool things. Like again, I'm a big fan of the tunnels. We see how Jason
Hmm.
gets around the camp and how he's able to just appear in front of people seemingly. It explains that. I think that that's great. The house where he used to live as a child, and when the girl, the initial brunette, like is looking at all the whistles hanging off
The
of that thing
the
in
one that
the
looks like his mom, or the one that is
the
helping
one
the
looks like his
brother?
mom that's
Okay,
in there
yeah.
with, yeah. She's like touching that thing that's got all of the whistles hanging down from
Mm.
it from all the counselors that he's killed. I
Yeah.
was like, man, that's fucking cool, dude. That's a good detail to add to this.
Yes.
Like he made a chandelier of like whistles.
Right.
Um,
Bored
yeah,
and,
yeah. Well,
just
yeah,
doing
maybe.
something, kind of
Yeah,
like what does a Jason do when no one's out there really,
yeah.
really,
I
oh,
mean, the fact that his tunnel ran up into bus that was flipped over sideways.
Yeah.
Like just like it was just little things like that that I really appreciated the time and thought process to. The kills were good. I mean, I can't think of a boring kill. Like everybody died in a pretty cool way. Boobs in the lake, she gets hit by that was the most unbelievable part of the movie, that she got hit at that with that boat
That
at
boat, yeah.
60 miles an hour and just didn't die immediately.
Yeah, that would have
Like
caved her
that,
skull in, and then the
yeah, that
motor
would
would have
have
came around and chopped her up.
absolutely. Well, I don't know about that part because that boat doesn't. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the structure of the boat, but it would have killed her. It would have bashed her head in.
Yeah, it's like getting hit by a car.
Yeah, it just that part. But we saw her boobs again, so that's cool. But like everybody died really fun, really cool.
Yeah.
The most boring kill was actually the second blonde, the one that isn't Jason's mom's lookalike, the one that Supernatural runs off with to the camp
Okay, yeah,
when she
just
catches the machete through the back out the
yeah.
chest.
Someone
That
didn't
was
tell her
just
that there's only one final girl.
yeah, exactly. And I that actually caught me off guard because I
Yeah.
for some reason I was like, oh yeah, they both make it, and then I was like, oh yeah, all right, yeah,
So she
you're
gets
dead now.
impaled.
Okay, cool. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that almost felt like writing. Like, did they mean, or did they mean for her to die, or were they like, nah, let's go ahead and kill our character off, you know,
I feel that because she had survived so much for so
right.
long that I thought she was in it for the long haul,
Yeah.
and then they were like, but it's probably one of those things where it's like they may have done that intentionally, where like we're going to allow you to think that she's going to be at the end
Oh
of this
yeah. Oh, she's
story,
gonna
and
make
then
it. She's gonna
oh
make it.
whoopsie
And
daisy, no,
then
she's not.
nope. Yeah. Like that
Yeah.
that definitely, came into my mind, idea of like that, where but my brain was also going, well, yeah, sh- at that point should have just kept her alive, but it's a Friday the 13th movie. Anybody can die at any time.
True.
Right.
And then we see where Halloween Ends gets its idea of chopping up Michael Myers
Kind of,
from.
maybe. I don't know how this ends kind of like obscurely and
Well,
shit.
it
Fucking
ends the exact same way. Again, we're remaking the first one.
right.
So,
First and
but
second one kind of combined, and third
right.
one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're recapping. It's a see these
It's
calling these
just it's
remakes are not the reimaginings feel better for
Yeah,
these first two.
reimaginings, just chum up
Um,
a bunch of fucking
yeah, yeah,
ideas
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Just
throw it at
touch
a
on a little
wall.
bit of
You
everything,
know.
and but yeah, so I mean, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was cool that I thought the ending was cool with him, like, supernatural fighting Jason at the end, which he was putting it to Jason a little too good. At one point, I was like, did you just body Jason right now?
Yeah.
Like, no, that I watched the black dude on the roof in New York that was like a boxing champion
Yeah.
like throw a 22-piece combo, but you just bull rushed him and knocked him off his feet. Let's chill
We're
out here,
trying to make it
Supernatural.
real. Like
But
everybody's like, is this guy gonna kill him?
yeah,
But yeah.
but yeah, like I like that back and forth. And obviously they play on the this person's hiding and they're gonna save the day real quick with like a stab to the back of the leg kind of deal.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool that they hung him and then the beam breaks and you're like, oh shit. But then she throws the chain in there and you're like, oh shit. And it just sat and just ate his brains out, basically.
Right.
I thought that was really cool. And then I thought that it was really cool that they took him to the lake to put him back into the lake.
Right.
It's kind of a dick thing if they would have known the story to put the drowned kid that somehow still grew up back
Yeah.
into the lake. But that's the only way they could get that scene of him jumping back out of the lake and grabbing her. So
Correct. That's where he
I
gets all his
get it.
superpowers from and shit.
Yeah, we
He gets
know.
his,
They should just
yeah,
write it somewhere. Like
yeah.
it should be a law
They
across
did. They
America.
wrote it in Freddy
Don't
versus
put
Jason. That was like the best one. Like Freddy don't
right, right,
like
yeah,
fire and Jason don't like water, but yet
right,
for
right,
some reason he can be rejuvenized through the waters of Camp Crystal Lake, kind of
yeah,
deal. But
yeah. I
I
think,
don't know.
yeah. I mean, the fact that they put him in there is like it was almost it felt sweet. Like it felt like they understood more than they were told.
Right.
Like because knowing what we know, if we had to face off against Jason and for some reason we were able to pull it off, putting him back in the lake would make sense. It would
Hmm.
be like a final send off to him because that's where he, died. That's where he lived. That's, everything. So it's almost like a sweet send off, but also you're just giving him life again because that's how he
Yeah,
lives.
no, now he's a hole again and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Friggin' yeah, I definitely like the whole ending, like
It's the
chicken
same
or
thing
the
with,
egg, the
yeah, go
chicken or
ahead.
the egg. What came first? Did they were like, oh no, he just gets chummed up in a leaf or a wood chipper,
Mhm.
and then like some executive walk in there and be like, put him in the lake and have him jump out of the lake. He ain't got no brains though.
Yeah.
Don't worry
No,
about that.
we all know he's rejuvenated
Yeah,
by
he
the lake.
rejuvenates in the lake. Like
He
there,
has so many times
right,
before. They tried to chain him to the bottom of the lake and they couldn't make it happen.
you're right. Fucking
Yeah. The funniest part to me is that it's never the same lake. Like they can't
no,
locate the
no,
same
no,
lake twice. Like what the fuck, dude? They can't use the same goddamn lake twice to make none of these movies are on the same lake.
no,
Fucking 13 of these goddamn movies and none of them are on the same lake.
no, no.
What is
We'll
the
never
is
be
that
on
the
the same
joke?
lake.
Is that the joke the entire time? Is like, haha, we'll never use the same lake. What just
I
write
think
it
that
down. Just write
the
it down. We
yeah,
were right
we
here at
were
Lake
yeah, we were at the Skonokie River and
yeah.
I mean lake, but no, I think the joke is that this little trash movie back in the 80s made a shit ton of money because kids would flock there and because everybody said you don't want to go see Friday the 13th because that's the ultimate trash out there and kids flocked there,
Naturally.
fucking made millions of dollars, and then they're like, okay, well, we got to make another one, and then they were like halfway in the shooting. I know in the third one where they were like, we need a lake. There's no
Mhm.
lake around here. It's like, oh, we got a little like industrial fucking runoff stream and shit. And
Yeah.
they're like, and then it just blew up to the point
Yeah.
where it's like Hellraiser in the box and Freddy
Mhm.
Krueger in a Christmas sweater. It's you got to put a lake in it. Nobody ever gets that lake like the first one, where
Right.
that was
Yeah.
like, I've seen those lakes.
It's funny because like I could buy this lake being one of the crystal lakes, except for one shot that threw me all the way off. Because like, okay, when you're in the first movie, we see the lake.
All right.
We can see the entire lake within one screen.
Right.
Like it is a small lake. Some would consider it a big pond. Um, this one had like coves. This one was massive and it had grass growing out of it.
Yeah.
That took me right out. I was like, nope, that's not Camp Crystal Lake. There's number one, Camp Crystal Lake was not the kind of lake that had houses on it.
Yeah. No.
This guy lives on this house. So that's a completely different lake.
Well, that's
You know
what
what? It
happened
doesn't
in the
fucking matter. I
90s
don't care.
when Jason was in outer space, they kind of just developed that
Just built
area. Like a
that's true. They
Walmart came
gentrified that
in
area as well.
and
Yep.
then
Absolutely.
like everybody out of New York
Do
like
you
just
want to
started
know?
vacationing out there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean like there's positives, there's
Right.
negatives.
I
But I
think that
think in the general sense when you're watching this movie, it's not bad. It's not
Oh,
like this was a horrible movie, you know. It's a Friday the fucking 13th. Turn your brain off, enjoy it.
exactly. And I think you would have enjoyed it more had you been able, and I was getting ready to say this, like, had you been able to turn off the
Turn
acting and
off
the
that
ick and stuff.
the ick.
I think that there's things that we both cannot turn off.
Yes.
There's things that we, as you have different things and I have different
They've
things, like me,
scarred me for life. I got that
the thing,
2000s.
well,
Boy,
yeah.
like it's Vietnam or something, you know. Boy, let me tell you, there was
uh,
this stretch of time from like 2001 to like, I don't know, 2017 where the fucking horror movies all just look like shit, and then the
well,
actors
yeah.
just didn't believe in themselves. They were just trying to get
They
something better.
some did and some didn't. I think they were just, I don't know. They're all do nothing people that we never saw again.
Right.
Some of them we did because I know Aaron Yo did some other things. I
Right.
know that Supernatural did some things, but overall, but I think like for me, it's like continuity.
Yeah.
I hate continuity errors in movies. You don't like the ick acting, which is crazy because you love ick acting in every other genre except
That's
from
because it's a
2010 to
specific
2015.
It's a specific, and like another thing also, it like in those 2000s, like not just acting and direction and production. Okay. I think that's more where somebody said, put, make a movie, make a Friday the 13th. The fucking, the horror fans will drive in it in droves and they'll spit their money out in front of the theater, and it doesn't matter because they can't get it back when they're out
Well,
the fucking door.
that's the
And
same theory from Friday 13th 2 to Friday 13th Jason
right,
X.
the only difference is they actually made like to a kid that was born that couldn't see those in the theater. Like those are great in my brain, you know. And
Well,
I
yeah, but
went to the theater and saw these ones. I was like, this isn't, you know, like
well,
it's not my Jason, you know.
I think that we can both honestly admit that these are just falling victim to
Right. I just
us
need
just
to,
not liking them because they're
right.
80s. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm sure that there are people out there that loved these movies because they grew up with these two
Oh yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
And for us, we're like, nah, we grew up with the older one, same thing with Texas Chainsaw. There's all these movies. Um,
Okay, we complain. We say style over substance, right?
mhm,
So Halloween, it was
mhm,
style over substance, but the
mhm,
style was so awesome that it was great, right?
mhm.
Okay, and it
That's why
made
I
it.
told you I put
Yeah.
film grain over this.
but but it's more than that. Like there's more, there's like a living, breathing atmosphere to that movie. I will say the same thing with oh fuck, who's the director of Dawn of the Dead?
Romero? Oh, Zack
No,
Snyder,
Zack Snyder. Okay.
I think.
Also, style over substance. Whereas these, they have the substance. They just don't have like a visionary director in there trying to put like an unusual stamp to it. Like you can this,
Yeah,
if
okay.
you take Freddy Krueger, okay, what we watched last week, and this, and you just cut scenes and put them in different random places to make one mega movie, like an ultimate Freddy versus Jason where Freddy and Jason never meet, it would look like the same movie almost.
Yeah, I think that I can agree with the fact that like if I'm getting you correctly, this director does not love horror movies. It's a cold money grab
It's
at
cold feeling of a movie.
yeah, I get that and I can
Okay.
understand that. I just personally thought that the kills and Jason was so much fucking fun that
No,
I was
yeah.
able to overlook a lot of the shitty stuff about it.
Right.
Um That's just me personally.
Right.
Just
Right.
same way with 2000 fucking 3D, Texas Chainsaw 3D, where she's like, do your thing, cuz.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like I can
But I think
overlook
we
that,
were at that point, we were out of this and we were starting like a
Right, right,
new
right. We were
wave.
starting our own new shitty
Yeah, we
genre
were,
of
yeah, we were
horror.
those are remakes of the remakes
Remakes.
now and
Yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Fuck, or
yeah.
continuations of remakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But
We'll get to the 2000 because
Texas.
I'm pretty sure we each like one of the Texas remakes more than the
Yeah.
other. So,
I think we're for
um,
different reasons, but
right, right, right.
yeah, these couple right here, they just feel like put the name on it, put them in it, got to have some certain things in it and see if it sells,
Right. Yeah, I agree. I feel that.
because it's not like they were going to do Nightmare on Elm Street remake part 2 or
I think that
Friday
they
the
set all of
13th.
these up to do that though.
Yeah, they set
And
them
then they
all up,
just went,
but
nah,
yeah,
that's
no.
not.
And it probably made a good bit of money in the theater
They
because
did. This one's
yeah,
budget was 19 million and it made back 92 million.
yeah, because oh,
Oh
they're
yeah.
putting a new Friday the 13th out in the theater.
Right, right.
And then everybody with a horror movie t-shirt and that
Mhm.
mindset just went, we're going.
It's the same
So,
thing with Star Wars. They're doing the same thing to Star Wars and Marvel.
right.
You love Star Wars and Marvel, they're going to keep
Well,
dumping
we're
these
gonna
dumb
keep
fucking
putting
movies
shit
out.
out that says, dun 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 dun
Yeah.
fucking so
All right, lightning round.
yeah. All right, Jacob, would you go see this in the Jacob, is this a cult classic? Oh no, would you
Not yet.
no,
Maybe.
no.
Actually, you know what? Nobody really talks about this. It could be considered a cult
Maybe
classic
there might be a
in the
niche
future.
group,
In the
yeah.
future, but not right now. I don't believe it is.
Yeah. All right, you gonna go see this one in the theater?
I would.
I
I like
did.
it.
I've
Yeah.
already seen it in the theater, so
I can't. I don't
they
remember
got
if
my
it's, I
fucking
don't.
money, and I was
I
the
don't
one walking
remember
out.
seeing this movie in the theaters. I can't
That's
remember. I
all.
know I saw Freddy vs. Jason a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that too. Fucking own a physical copy?
Yes,
Yes, I do.
I
Fucking
probably own a physical copy of this.
all right. Here, okay, you have the remake and the original.
Give it to Rob Zombie, man.
What's
Oh
better?
wait.
What's better?
Oh,
What's
it's keeping time frame in mind. I would put this like high on my list of like I would say this is probably my top four of
so
Friday the
you say that
13th.
the remake is better than the original?
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. But
The remake fucking or the original sucked so bad. Like I get its place in history, but God, it sucked. What about you?
I because you have to mix all three. You have to put like the first Friday, the second Friday, and the third Friday because that's the events that happen in this. Let's say they're neck and neck.
That's
Neck
fair.
and
So
neck.
you think that this one movie is as good as one, two, and three?
Yeah. Yeah.
That that shows you how good this one was. That it
It's
was as good as three of
as
the
good. Yeah, it's
original.
like right
It
here and
took
shit.
three
Fucking
originals to contend with this one movie. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. This is a good movie.
So the originals just had more story to absorb with Kevin
Mm,
Bacon's.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Kevin Bacon getting a fuck